chapter 36. And it came to pass in the 4th year of Jehoiakim the son of Josiah, king of Judah, that this word came unto Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Take you a roll of a book, and write therein all the words that I have spoken unto you against Israel, and against Judah, and against all the nations, from the day I spoke unto you, from the days of Josiah, even unto this day. It may be that the house of Judah will hear all the evil which I propose to do unto them, that they may return every man from his evil way, and I may forgive their iniquity and their sin. Then Jeremiah called Baruch the son of Neriah, and Baruch wrote from the mouth of Jeremiah all the words of the Lord, which he had spoken unto him, upon a roll of a book. And Jeremiah commanded Baruch, saying, I am detained, I cannot go into the house of the Lord. Therefore go you and read in the roll, which you have written from my mouth, the words of the Lord in the ears of the people, in the Lord's house upon a fast day, and also you shall read them in the ears of all Judah that come out of their cities. It may be they will present their supplication before the Lord, and will return every one from his evil way. For great is the anger and the fury that the Lord hath pronounced against this people. And Baruch the son of Neriah did according to all that Jeremiah the prophet commanded him, reading in the book the words of the Lord in the Lord's house. Now it came to pass in the 5th year of Jehoiakim the son of Josiah, king of Judah, in the 9th month, that they proclaimed a fast before the Lord, all the people in Jerusalem. And all the people came from the cities of Judah unto Jerusalem. Then did Baruch read in the book the words of Jeremiah in the house of the Lord, in the chamber of Gemariah the son of Shaphan, the scribe, in the upper court, at the entry of the new gate of the Lord's house, in the ears of all the people. And when Micaiah the son of Gemariah, the son of Shaphan, had heard out of the book all the words of the Lord, he went down into the king's house, into the scribe's chamber, and lo, all the princes sat there, even Elishama the scribe, and Delaiah the son of Shemaiah, and Elnathan the son of Achbor, and Gemariah the son of Shaphan, and Zedekiah the son of Hananiah, and all the princes. Then Micaiah declared unto them all the words that he had heard, when Baruch read the book in the ears of the people. Therefore all the princes sent Yehudi the son of Nethaniah, the son of Shelemiah, the son of Cushi, unto Baruch, saying, Take in your hand the roll wherein you have read in the ears of the people, and come. So Baruch the son of Neriah took the roll in his hand, and came unto them. And they said unto him, Sit down now, and read it in our ears. So Baruch read it in their ears. Now it came to pass, when they had heard all the words, they turned in fear one toward another, and said unto Baruch, We will surely tell the king all these words. Now they asked Baruch, saying, Tell us now, how did you write all these words at his mouth? Then Baruch answered them, He pronounced all these words unto me with his mouth, and I wrote them with ink in the book. Then said the princes unto Baruch, Go hide you and Jeremiah, and let no man know where you are. And they went in to the king into the court, but they had deposited the roll in the chamber of Elishama the scribe, and told all the words in the ears of the king. So the king sent Yehudi to fetch the roll, and he took it out of the chamber of Elishama the scribe, and Yehudi read it in the ears of the king, and in the ears of all the princes that stood beside the king. Now the king was sitting in the winter house in the 9th month, and the brazier was burning before him. And it came to pass, when Yehudi had read 3 or 4 columns, that he cut it with a penknife, and cast it into the fire, and that was in the brazier, until all the roll was consumed in the fire that was in the brazier. Yet they were not afraid, nor rent their garments, neither king nor any of his servants that heard all these words. Moreover, Elnathan and Delaiah and Gemariah had entreated the king not to burn the roll, but he would not hear. And the king commanded Jeremiah, the king's son, and Seraiah, the son of Azriel, and Shelemiah, the son of Abdiel, to take Baruch the scribe and Jeremiah the prophet, but the Lord hid them. Then the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah after the king had burned the roll, and the words which Baruch wrote at the mouth of Jeremiah, saying, Take you again another roll, and write in it all the former words that were in the first roll, which Jehoiakim the king of Judah has burned. And concerning Jehoiakim king of Judah you shalt say, Thus saith the Lord, You have burned this roll, saying, Why have you written therein, saying, The king of Babylon shall certainly come and destroy this land, and shall cause to cease from there man and beast. Therefore thus saith the Lord concerning Jehoiakim king of Judah, He shall not have none to sit upon the throne of David, and his dead body shall be cast out in the day to the heat, and in the night to the frost. And I will visit upon him and his seed and his servants their iniquity. And I will bring upon them, and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and upon the men of Judah, and all the evil that I have pronounced against them, but they hearkened not. Then took Jeremiah another roll, and gave it to Baruch the scribe, the son of Neriah, who wrote therein from the mouth of Jeremiah all the words of the book which Jehoiakim king of Judah had burned in the fire, and there were added besides unto them many like words. All right, let's go back up to verse 1, and we'll remember yesterday now we was prophesying as well in this time of Jehoiakim, which would be some of the earlier prophecies of Jeremiah, this one who was appointed by God. And we was talking about the Rechabi. Rechabi are the riders, those ones who ride in strength because they do according to their father's commandments. And that was basically the greater intention there of that little similitude we got yesterday. See, there those that do according to their father's commandments shall ride in great strength, even always having someone to stand before the Lord. Today we're going to be during this same period of time, even the days of Jehoiakim. Jehoiakim is that one that God has stood up. God has stood up. He is making an example. We're going to pick it up in verse 1. And it came to pass in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, that the word came unto Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, so once again, this is the 4th year now, and the 4th being the work that's apportioned, this 4th, and it's divided out. This is the work that's divided out in the greater understanding of Jehoiakim, that which God stood up. He's the son of Josiah, this one God finds, the king of Judah, the king of praisings. This word comes to Jeremiah, or the one whom God appointed. Verse 2, Take you a roll of a book, and write therein all the words that I have spoken unto you against Israel, and against Judah, and against all the nations, from the day I spoke unto you, from the days of Josiah, even unto this day. And we'll remember the prophecies of Jeremiah began in the days of Josiah, this one who God finds. And he is commanded now to take a book, take a roll. That was what they used for a book back then, this roll, and it represented that which goes around. This is understanding, and write therein all the words. Write in there, make them permanent. And this is like to engrave into the book the words of God that he has pronounced against Judah and all the nations. See, all the nations, even all the nations of Israel, all the nations of Babylon. We remember God commanded Jeremiah to take the cup and give everybody a little drink of that. That's going to be the wrath of God, see, that he poured out upon all the earth. And this little bit of from the day that I spoke unto you, and this is the day when God began to give Jeremiah understanding, in the days of Josiah, and all these understandings of that which God has found. 3, It may be that the house of Judah will hear all the evil which I propose to do unto them, that they may return every man from his evil way, and I may forgive their iniquity and their sin. And it may be for this purpose, God had Jeremiah to write all these words down, that it may be that they would hear all the evil which I propose to do unto them. And this is all the evil which God proposes to do. He has proclaimed it. God always keeps his word. And that every man might might turn or return from his evil way, because this is what is before them continually. And God would forgive them, now, of their perversions and their sin. This sin is the trespasses or the transgressions of the law of God. 4. Then Jeremiah called Baruch the son of Neriah, and Baruch wrote from the mouth of Jeremiah all the words of the Lord, which he had spoken unto him upon a roll of a book. And we remember Baruch, this little a brief encounter with Baruch. And now Baruch, he is going to write for Jeremiah, all the words which Jeremiah is going to proclaim, because we're going to see at this time Jeremiah had been locked up. He had been put into the prison house, and nobody could get to him. This would be an earlier imprisonment, not when Zedekiah would have put him in prison. And he's asked Baruch, and Baruch means blessed, if we remember. Baruch is the one who's blessed, and he is the son of Neriah, and that is that glistening light of God. 5. And Jeremiah commanded Baruch, saying, I am detained. I cannot go into the house of the Lord. So Jeremiah has told Baruch, he says, I can't go to the house of God to speak these words. So, 6, therefore go you and read in the roll which you have written from my mouth the words of the Lord in the ears of the people in the Lord's house upon a fast day, and also you shall read them in the ears of all Judah that come out of their cities. So now Jeremiah has told Baruch, he says, now take this roll of the book that you wrote for me from my mouth, that which pours out the words of the Lord which I have heard. He says, and take it in there, and I want you to read it upon a fast day. And this is on a day where they would declare a fast, and this fast would be to not eat or to not partake of substance, a day, that of understanding, to not partake of the substance of understanding. So you're going to sustain yourself from understanding for one day. And we're going to find, this was when Jeremiah wanted him to bring it in there and read it, because this was a day when they would be sustaining even themselves from their understanding. 7. It may be they will present their supplication before the Lord, and will return every one from his evil way. For great is the anger and the fury that the Lord hath pronounced against this people. Jeremiah's purpose behind this is to send him in there, and in his hope that every one would turn from his evil way. That everybody would turn and return to the law of God, back to understanding, turn from the false prophet who was prophesying then, because the king of Babylon was coming. That's what it was about, even at that time. 8. And Baruch the son of Neriah did according to all that Jeremiah the prophet commanded him, reading in the book the words of the Lord in the Lord's house. So Baruch did it. Baruch actually went and read the book in the words of the Lord in the Lord's house. And this book, once again, are those words that are there to stay. They were prepared to stay. 9. Now it came to pass in the 5th year of Jehoiakim the son of Josiah, king of Judah, in the 9th month, that they proclaimed a fast before the Lord, all the people in Jerusalem, and all the people that came from the cities of Judah unto Jerusalem. So now this is quite a bit of period of time has passed. If we went back to verse 1 real quick, we would find it was in the 4th year. And now we are in the 5th year. In the 9th month to be exact. And this 5th year, that portion of grace even that's been divided out in the greater understanding of Jehoiakim, the one which God has stood up. He's the son of that which the one God found. He was the king of Judah. In the 9th month, see, and the 9th is the portion of the harvest of the lesser light, see, that has been divided out. They proclaimed a fast before the Lord. All the people in Jerusalem and all the people that came from the cities, all the people of the peaceful teachings and all the people from around Judah, they all came unto Jerusalem. And we're going to see what happened is now. We've ended one little story, and we're going to have where now the part about when Baruch went and read all these words into the ear of the people. 10. Then did Baruch read in the book the words of Jeremiah in the house of the Lord, in the chamber of Gemariah, the son of Shaphan, the scribe, in the upper court, at the entry of the new gate of the Lord's house, in the ears of the people. So Baruch read in the book. He took the book and he read the words of Jeremiah, this one who God has appointed, just like Jeremiah told him to do, in the chamber, in this little room of Gemariah. It was in the house of God there. We're going to see they had their little chambers. He was the son of Shaphan. Gemariah means that God is at his end. We remember this from an earlier prophecy. God is at his end. God has accomplished. He's reached his end of his patience. See, and now we're going to find God has got judgment. And he's the son of Shaphan. And Shaphan is that burrower. That burrower, he is one who would hide himself in the earth, or would dig in the earth, or hide or cover up. He's the scribe, and the scribe is Sephar. And we want to keep our eye on this word Sephar, because, see, this word Sephar is basically to account. It means to account or to recount or keep track of what's going on, see? And that is important, because we're going to find out something. The upper court, and he was in the upper court of the Lord's house at the entry of the new gate. And I think we've mentioned this new gate before. This new gate was a gate that had been repaired. See, there had been a breach in the city, and it had been repaired, and this was called the new gate, and it was actually just the repairing of an old gate. 11. And when Micaiah, the son of Gemariah, the son of Shaphan, had heard out of the book all the words of the Lord. So Micaiah, he is the one who's in the likeness of God. He is my God's likeness. He's the son of Gemariah. He's Gemariah's son. And this is when God's at his end. He's the son of Shaphan. That which God has hidden, or that is hidden in the earth even. He heard out all the words of the book, these words that were there to stay. 12. He went down into the king's house, into the scribe's chamber, and lo, all the princes sat there, even Elishama the scribe, and Delaiah the son of Shemaiah, and Elnathan the son of Achbor, and Gemariah the son of Shaphan, and Zedekiah the son of Hananiah, and all the princes. So now Micaiah, when he's done hearing all these words, he's the one that's in the likeness of God, he goes down to the king's house and into the scribe's chamber, and this is where they keep track, they recount. That's into his room, and lo, all the princes were sitting there. Even Elishama was sitting there. And Elishama is the one who the Mighty One hears. And he is the scribe. He is the one who keeps track. He is the one who recounts all this. Even like in the book of Kings, he would be the one who would be keeping track of everything. And Delaiah was there. Delaiah is this one who is drawn of God. He's the son of Shemaiah. Shemaiah means heard of God. See, it's like Shamuel or Samuel. It's Shemaiah. He is the one who has heard God. And Elnathan, the son of Achbor. And I believe we remember El Nathan. He's the mighty one has given. He's the one who mighty one has given, see. He is the gift of the mighty one. Even he is the son of Akbor, and Akbor's that mouse, this one that gnaws this detestable thing even. And Gemariah, he's the son of Shaphan. And Gemariah, he's that God is at his end. God has reached the end of his patience, and he is the son of the one who's hidden. And Zedekiah, he's my God's strength, the son of Hananiah, he's there, and we're going to remember Hananiah. He's the one who my God has favored. All the princes, all these mighty men were there. 13. Then Micaiah declared unto them all the words that he had heard when Baruch read the book in the ears of the people. So Micaiah comes down, and this room's quite busy there. We see there's quite a little crowd in there. And he walks in, and he tells everybody what he's heard out of this book that Baruch had read. 14. Therefore all the princes sent Yehudi, the son of Nathaniah, the son of Shelemiah, the son of Cushi, unto Baruch, saying, Take in your hand the roll wherein you have read in the ears of the people, and come. So Baruch the son of Neriah took the roll in his hand, and came unto them. So they've sent now, all the princes did, they sent Yehudi, and Yehudi means one who is from Judah, or Judah, and that's the place of praisings. And he's the son of Nathaniah, and the Nathaniah means my God, my Yah has given. Yah has given, or given of Yah. He's the son of Shelemiah, and Shelemiah, we know, is God has repaid. He is the just reward even. He's like Shalem, but that's the just reward. And we got Shelemiah, see, my God's just reward even. The son of Cushi, and Cushi is darkness. Cushi means darkness, and he unto Baruch. So they've come unto Baruch now, and they've said, Take in your hand the roll wherein you have read in the ears of the people, and come with us, and the roll which you have read. So Baruch the son of Neriah, this blessed one, he is the son, this glistening light of God, and he took the roll in his hand and came unto them. 15. And they said unto him, Sit down now and read in our ears. So Baruch read in their ears. 16. Now it came to pass, when they had heard all the words, they turned in fear one toward another, and said unto Baruch, We will surely tell the king all these words. So Baruch reads the book again, and this second time even, we have him read the book for a witness. They tell him, all the princes do, we're going to go tell the king just what you said. 17. And they asked Baruch, saying, Tell us now, how did you write all these words at his mouth? So they want to know, though, just how Baruch come about doing all this. How'd you write all these words out of the mouth, out of that which pours out the word? How did you do it? 18. Then Baruch answered them, He pronounced all these words unto me with his mouth, and I wrote them with ink in the book. So Baruch, the blessed, answered, and he pronounced all these words unto me. He told me what to write. From his mouth he poured it out, and I wrote them with ink, that they might last in the book. 19. Then said the princes unto Baruch, Go hide you and Jeremiah, and let no man know where you are. So we're going to find out that this had scared them, and they had told Baruch to go find a place for him and Jeremiah to hide. 20. And they went in to the king and to the court, but they had deposited the roll in the chamber of Elishama the scribe, and they told all the words in the ears of the king. So now all the princes, and they've went to talk to the king, but they've dropped the roll of the book, this that goes around off in the Elishama's chamber there. He's the scribe. He is the one that recounts all this, or he is the one who hears the mighty one. 21. So the king sent Yehudi to fetch the roll, and he took it out of the chamber of Elishama the scribe. And Yehudi read it in the ears of the king, and in the ears of all the princes that stood beside the king. So now we've got this one from Judah. He was sent to fetch the roll, this that goes around, and he took it now out of the chamber, out of this little house of, or this little room of Elishama, this one that heard the mighty one. He was the scribe. He was the one that counted it out and recounted it and wrote it all down. And Yehudi, the one from Judah, read it in the ears of the king and the ears of all the princes that stood beside the king. So Yehudi went and got the roll and brought it back, and he started to read it. 22. Now the king was sitting in the winter house in the 9th month, and the brazier was burning before him. So now the king's sitting. It's getting in the cool time of the year. The fall's coming on, and he's sitting in the winter house, his other house, not the summer house, but the winter house. That winter house, that which is for the cold, prepared for the cold season, in the 9th month even, that harvest that's been portioned out to the lesser light. And the brazier was burning before him. This brazier is just simply a fireplace. 23. And it came to pass, when Yehudi had read 3 or 4 columns, that he cut it with the penknife and cast it into the fire, and that was in the brazier, until all the roll was consumed in the fire that was in the brazier. So Jehoiakim now, he's the king there that they just brought it to. He listens to a little bit, 3 or 4 columns. 3, this is the complete, and 4, the work of God even, and it was columns. That was laid out in order, that he cut it with the penknife. Well, he didn't cut it with the penknife. What he did was he tore it. And this word penknife is sapar, just like the scribe. He tore up that which was written, and he throwed it in the fire, in the fireplace there, until the roll was consumed by the fire. 24. Yet they were not afraid, nor rent their garments, neither the king nor any of his servants that heard all these words. So they wasn't scared now. They was standing there with the king, but they were scared before. See, and the king thought he could just take and burn these words up, and they're done away with. 25. Moreover, Elnathan and Delaiah and Gemariah had entreated the king not to burn the roll, but he would not hear them. He wouldn't listen. And Elnathan, we're going to remember, this is the mighty one's gift. And Delaiah is that one was drawn from God, and Gemariah, that God is at his end. When God is at his end, this is that which will be drawn out, this gift of the mighty one. They tried to get him not to burn the roll, and this roll represents that thing that goes around. They tried not to get him not to do this. 26. And the king commanded Jerahmeel, the king's son, and Seraiah, the son of Azriel, and Shelemiah, the son of Abdiel, to take Baruch the scribe and Jeremiah the prophet, but the Lord hid them. So the king, after he'd burnt this roll, he told Jerahmeel, this one, God's pity, the mighty one, to the king's son, and Seraiah, my God's ruler, and he's the son of Azriel, this the mighty one's help, and Shelemiah, this one who God has repaid, remember, he's God's just recompense, to go get Baruch, the blessed, and the scribe, Baruch the scribe. See, Baruch was also one who would record and account those things, but he was the blessed, the scribe, and Jeremiah the prophet, and Jeremiah the one whom God had appointed to speak. 27. Then the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah after the king had burned the roll, and the words which Baruch wrote at the mouth of Jeremiah, saying. So after all this came to pass, and after the king, Jehoiakim, and which when God stood up, burnt the roll, this former that was written, the words which even Baruch had wrote at the mouth of Jeremiah, this blessed had even wrote at the mouth of one whom God has appointed, had poured out, 28, take you again another roll, and write in it all the former words that were in the first roll, which Jehoiakim the king of Judah has burned. So once again, we'll just take another roll, we'll make it go around again, and we'll write in it the former words. We'll write in it again these words that are going to last, that were in the first roll, that were in the roll from the beginning, as in the first time it went around, which Jehoiakim the king of Judah has burned, or tried to destroy even. 29, and concerning Jehoiakim king of Judah, you shall say, Thus saith the Lord, you have burned this roll, saying, Why have you written therein? Saying, the king of Babylon shall certainly come and destroy this land, and shall cause to cease from there man and beast. Now concerning Jehoiakim, the king of Judah, this one who God has stood up, he's the king of praisings. You have burned this roll, you have caused this roll, this circle, to pass through the fire, saying, Why have you written therein, saying, the king of Babylon shall certainly come and destroy the land? Because he burned it because he didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to listen. He's got a little problem with the listening there. He shall cause to cease from there man and beast. And we're going to find out that's exactly what God was going to do, cause to cease from there man and beast, even those that were deceiving the people and those that were lying in wait to tear. 30, Therefore thus saith the Lord, concerning Jehoiakim king of Judah, he shall have none to sit upon the throne of David, and his dead body shall be cast out in the day, to the heat, and to the night, to the frost. God's saying that this is what's going to happen to Jehoiakim, this one who God has stood up. He's the king of praisings. He shall have none to sit upon the throne of David. He's cutting off his seed, and his dead body shall be cast out into the day, out in understanding, to the heat, to that which scorches, and into the night, to darkness, to the coldness, this frost, this ice even, to that which is frozen. 31, And I will visit upon him and his seed and his servants their iniquity, and I will bring upon them and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem and upon the men of Judah all the evil that I have pronounced against them, but they hearken not. And I will visit upon him and his seed and his servants their iniquity, their perversions. Well, this is exactly what God's going to do. Justly reward in a rightful recompense according to your deeds all the inhabitants of the place of peaceful teachings, these men of Judah, these men of praisings, all the evil that he has pronounced against them. Why? Because they hearken not. They didn't want to listen to the word of God. They wanted to go after and listen to all the prophets who said they was going to keep on reigning. They was doing everything. They had everything taken care of. 32. Then took Jeremiah another roll and gave it to Baruch the scribe, the son of Neriah, who wrote therein from the mouth of Jeremiah all the words of the book which Jehoiakim king of Judah had burned in the fire, and there were added besides unto them many like words. So Jeremiah took another roll, took another's round, this one whom God appointed, and he gave it to Baruch, the blessed one, the scribe, the one who would recount, write it down, make it known, the son of Neriah. He is the son of this glistening light of God, who wrote therein from the mouth of Jeremiah. Even the mouth, the place where the words were poured out from the one God appointed, into the book, this place where the words would last. Even all the things that king of Judah, the king of praisings, Jehoiakim, this one who God stood up, had burned in the fire. He had wasted it. He'd thrown it away, given it no account, saying it was good for nothing. And there were added besides them many like words. Many like words. And these words are like little swords. They're swift little darts even that do the work of God in truth and in understanding, trying to turn and return everybody from their evil and their wicked ways, how they went after perversion, seeking the words of men, always listening to men, not trying to find God's understanding through the law which he appointed when he said, this is your wisdom, this is your understanding, this is your knowledge. See? And it is also the gate into the city. All right. Turn and return, and we'll move to chapter 37.